Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra here with the Range Monkey, my buddy Natalie, basically my niece. And this is our next video in the Range Monkey series, and you carry a traditional double action gun. And so let's talk about how we do this correctly, not just for you as a new carrier, but for all of you as well. Palm pepper spray has recently reformulated for even more effect when you bless the deserving with the hot sauce. Palm is what I use between a harsh word and a gun and encourage everyone to do likewise. We are here at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale, my home range. You want to shoot with me? Come find me here. And Natalie, so this is interesting. I think people are going to ask this question because you are 18 years old.
Yep.
And yet you can still carry a firearm.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I turned 18 and I asked my dad if I could get a gun, and he said yeah. So
They live in the state of South Dakota. In South Dakota, at 18 years old, you can still carry a handgun constitutional.
Yep.
Yay freedom, right? Here in the great state of Arizona, you have to be 21. You can openly carry, but you cannot conceal carry. But we can be out here on the range, no big deal. So yeah, you conceal carry this every day, and you carry a Beretta PX4 compact carry customized by Ernest Langdon. She would not have been able to tell you that. She's like, I conceal carry the gun that we worked on.
I memorized it, kind of.
Because you just really like the way that gun fits your hands and runs. And it's a great gun, okay? So love that from Ernest. And it's a traditional double action. Now, I carry P30 LEM, a light LEM, which is slightly different. We're not talking about how I carry mine, but you carry yours. Now, how do we put that gun in the holster? If you would show us your gun in the holster, I want you to notice this is hammered down, right? So if you carry a traditional double action gun, that means the first trigger press is longer. It doesn't necessarily have to be heavy. That gun does not have a heavy trigger press.
Yeah.
It's about a 7-pound double action pull. 8-pound double action pull, and then about a 4-pound single action. Ernest does a great job making triggers. But before we put it in the holster, every time it gets decocked. Do you remember why?
Because double actions, if you don't put the hammer down, then the trigger is a lot shorter, and it's a lot easier to have a fire in your holster.
Yes,
have it
so
fire in
when you, not in the holster necessarily, but as you're going in and out of the holster, you have a light, single action trigger that going in and out of the holster, if anything impinges that, you got trouble. And when we decock it, it gives us a little bit of extra margin for safety. That's why traditional double action exists, and that's why we do it. So we do two things when we're going to go to the holster. We're going to decock, and then you're doing a really good job of putting your thumb over the hammer that, God forbid, if anything impacts that. If I, again, live gun here, and if I start pressing my trigger, you can see that here, right? But if I have my thumb over before I put the gun back away in the holster and something impinges this, now my finger never would because I do the right things, right? But let's just say a piece of my clothing or the holster or whatever, it's no move. It can't move because my thumb is blocking it, right? So that is a layer of safety that you could carry a striker-fired gun if you had like a striker control device on it, but blah, blah words, right? So we're gonna just practice some more draws to first shot here. We're not gonna practice them on the timer, but I want you to work on those. And really what I'm thinking, get that done, bang, cool. Decock, thumb over hammer, back in the holster. Ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Very good, good shot. Okay? Decock, thumb over, safely, carefully holster. That's today's lesson. Decock, thumb over, safely holster. Right? Don't point guns at yourself. When did you point a gun at yourself in that holstering?
Never.
Never. When do you want to point a gun at yourself?
Never.
Also never. Only point guns at parts of yourself you do not want to keep.
Right.
I would like to keep all the parts of me. Now, I know some doofus is going to say, yeah, but she's appendix carrying, and so she's pointing a gun at herself right now. No, she's not. She has a proper wedge on that holster. I know because I put it on.
A holstered gun isn't pointed at anything.
Hey, she's got a holstered gun's not pointed, but even if she was, I could show you right now. Here I am, and I can show you that the muzzle of my gun is just outside of my personage. Now, I know you're like, oh, I really didn't want to think about John's junk today. I get it, all right? But it's not actually. So now, if I streaked, if this gun went off right now, it would not put a bullet in me. It would probably create discomfort, but it would not put a bullet in me. And I'm not going to ask you to do that because it's in the same principle.
Right. Okay.
Very good. All right, let's do a few more draws.
All right.
Great shot, Nat. You really got after that one. Okay, carefully. Good job. Good. Little hesitation there. Tell me what was going on in your head.
I had a grip on
The bottom.
The bottom of the gun, yeah.
So I'm always thinking when I go to grip, right, so it's a separate lesson, right, is that my thumb kind of tells me where the rest of me goes, but I'm really driving this middle finger, I'm really driving it up and under. So I'm thinking smush.
Smush.
So not my index finger, because that's my trigger finger, right? So I'm thinking, so this finger here, I'm thinking smush up underneath there as high as I can get it. Yep.
Okay.
So then that way when the gun comes out of the holster, my hand is in the place it needs to be.
Okay.
Try a couple more.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, there we go. Decock, thumb over hammer, safely holster. That's today's lesson. She's carrying a traditional double action gun. When you never put a traditional double action gun in the holster with the gun in condition 0, which is cocked, loaded, and no safety on. If it's a traditional double action gun, it gets decocked and then thumb over hammer before it goes in the holster. Now, you don't have this gun, but for our viewers, if you have a gun that is either traditional double action or can be run single action only, in other words, it can have a safety on it, you can run it with the hammer back, safety on, and put it in the holster. That's the additional layer of safety that you need there. And then, because your hammer is back, you would actually put your thumb over the back hammer, the hammer in the back position, when you put it in the holster. But that PX4 compact carry is decocker only, so we decock it every single time.
Every single time.
Get it?